Larry Leith from Kentucky sits down with us just one day after his Bonati spine procedure in November 2019.
Most everything I used to do, I couldn't do for the last 7 years, so I kind of gave up everything. I am a drummer by trade. I've got an ergonomic drum set that tilts back, takes the pressure off my back and everything, so I was able to play if I wanted to, but I just kind of stopped doing that too. I work at Toyota, and I'm trying to get everything fixed up because I'm getting ready to retire.
His pain stems from a degenerative condition and began affecting his life about 7 years ago.
At the worst point, you always hear people say those lightning bolts. You get them shooting through your body. That's what it is. It's kind of like getting struck by lightning and it would shoot through your body and then it would persist. It would just stay. And if I moved, my muscles would cramp up and that pain just stayed. And by, I'm gonna say November of 2012, I couldn't walk. I pretty much laid in bed. I ordered a decompression table and that got me back on my feet within a few weeks. And I was able to keep that up for several years. And as long as I was sitting, I was good. I was able to even go to work. And the jobs changed and it required me to do some different things, bending side to side. And then the symptoms just got worse again.
In addition to his decompression table, Larry attempted physical therapy at the request of his insurance provider. For many patients like Larry who suffer with spinal nerve conditions, physical therapy often does more harm than good.
Insurance required the physical therapy. That did not work at all. They had me doing things and it was like picking up balls, moving side to side. And later on, I found out that that's what increased the pain. And after the physical therapy, I couldn't walk out of there. They had people with computers, they said, well, this is what you're supposed to do. This is supposed to help. And it was just wrong. And after a while, once I found out more detail with the MRIs, I could even see why it didn't work because that increased the pressure on the nerves, just going side to side because those were my bad areas. I went to one of the best back surgeons in the country that happens to be in my hometown. He's well known. He'd operated on a bunch of big stars and big athletes. And I go there and it's kind of like, well, if you can walk, you're okay. If you're not in 100% pain, it's just go in and you'll see him for 5 minutes and okay, go home, keep doing what you're doing. And then come back a few months later and you get those other 5 minutes and the pain just even got worse. He said, go home, do what you do.
When this traditional surgeon offered no help, he began searching on the internet for an alternative provider and then discovered the Bonati Spine Institute.
And I made a phone call down here and everybody was so nice and they told me over the phone and then a surgeon calls me and we talked for like 20 minutes, longer than I've ever talked to a surgeon. I was pretty much sold. They explained everything they could do. He had my MRI in front of me like 2 days afterwards and he told me everything that their procedure did step by step and why it would work for me. And at that point, I said, we're going to go ahead and get this done.
Larry was diagnosed with bulging disc causing sciatica and was scheduled for the Bonati spine procedures. The first step of his Bonati spine procedures were at L4, L5, and the second step a couple days later at L5, S1.
When I walk in, you get greeted and they make sure you know where to go and they take you there and kind of treat it more as a friend or a family to me because everybody's super nice and everything was good.
A benefit of the use of conscious IV sedation is that Bonati surgical guests are partners in their procedure and work with the surgeons to target the source of the pain.
I was awake. And I spoke directly to, I'm thinking the anesthesiologist and anything that was relayed, if the surgeon, they could hear too. If I had a pain, I would just shout out like leg or back and they would make sure that everything was good. So yes, I was conscious during the operation and first you kind of think that's a little crazy, but no, it's effective because there was a pain and they asked me about it and they kept working on it until it disappeared and I told them it was gone.
Leg. Sit leg here. The back of the leg, Larry?
Yes. I think that's a good way to do business. I'm not scared of it. And as far as pain goes, I'm used to pain. but there was no pain. So when they said that they would be working around the nerve and I would feel things like that, I could, but it wasn't anything that was anywhere near close to what I normally feel. So it was kind of a tingling thing.
Because of our patented procedures and their revolutionary use of conscious IV sedation, Larry and other surgical guests know for sure their pain is eliminated.
I knew in the OR that the pain was gone. In the recovery room, I was pretty well up and about. The surgeon came in and did a walkthrough.
If you've been told you need back surgery or neck surgery but are hesitating to seek treatment for fear of a long, painful recovery or possible post-operative issues, let the Bonati Spine Institute ease your fears. The team at Bonati can provide you the answers to your pain and treatment options to get you back to doing the things you love.
I'm looking forward to being able to stand longer than a couple of minutes and walk around, and I really want to be able to wash my car. That's kind of weird, but I'd always have to bend over to wash my car, and in the past 7 years, if I attempted that, I was laying on the ground. So that's my test right there. I know if I'm good, I can wash my car. I would suggest to, like everybody that I know that has back pain, that I've already told them, check this place out. I mean, I don't care what it is. I've found out that they could go back over bad surgeries and correct them. They'll be open and honest with you. Down here, everything was fast. Within, let me see, I think I called maybe Thursday, had my MRI sent down. And then on Monday afternoon, so the surgeon had called me. So I'd already talked to everybody already in a 3-day period. First of all, thank you very much at the Institute, everybody I met. It's just a lovely place and everybody's so friendly, so nice. It's not like going to a hospital. The procedures and the practice, you know every step of the way, what's going to be done, what to expect, and when to expect it.